You want to use some Wagos on this job? I have these in the truck. Wago 222s. Nah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Hey gang, it's Paul with Stud Pack. Welcome back to the channel. Jordan and I have hung a lot of trim over the years, and when we come to an outside corner, we do what most people do. We use wood glue and a pin nailer and pin that thing till it dries and go hang it up and hope it holds. Well, a bunch of you have been telling me in the comments below, hey Paul, you need to get some 2P10 adhesive. Go to this website and order some. Hey, I'll mail you some. Hey, I live down the street. Come pick some up. Well, I finally got a hold of some, and here it is right here. I got the 2P10 thick adhesive, and here's the activator. And I never really knew what 2P10 meant. It means 2-part, 10 seconds. You got 10 seconds to make your joint perfect, and it's over with. It's not moving. So I got a new product right here. I don't know why it took me so long to switch. We'll see what happens. Maybe it's just the old adage, you know, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. But hopefully we can teach this old dog a new trick about 2P10 adhesive. But if using a new product isn't enough, my cabinet company sent me 3 8-foot pieces of the crown to wrap 5 sections of cabinet. I don't know what they were thinking. So that means I can't mess up at all. If I cut a piece an inch too short, if I cut on the wrong side of my mark and now the piece is too short, I'm basically screwed, gang, because I can't get this profile anymore. They don't have it. If I'm short, I'm gonna have to go to the store, find something that's close, color match the paint, and make my own. I certainly don't want to do that, so we got to be very careful today. So before we start hanging up this crown and using our brand new 2P10 adhesive, we got to go inside and measure for our crown. But there's one little nuance about these RTA shaker style cabinets and the way the face frame extends over the box of the cabinet that we got to account for. So let's head inside with our tools and I'll show you what we're talking about. All right guys, we're going to start with this corner cabinet. It's going to be an easy one, the front piece and the side piece. But check this out. They're already decorating and kind of moving into the kitchen, even though we don't have the range yet.
That always happens, man.
Yeah, that's a little symbol to Paul, putting a little pressure on Paul. Hey, let's get the range in here. We need to start cooking. We're tired of eating out. Here's our challenge with this molding. It needs to go right here, and the crown will go at the top, obviously. But see, I'm hitting that face frame. I don't want to notch this. That's a pain. But if I put it there, I've got this big gap right here. And it's the same thing at the top with the crown. So what we're going to do, we're going to notch the face frame so that this sits right here. And we get a nice clean miter here and at the top. And I'm actually going to use this piece of the light rail as my guide. I'm going to put it right here, make a light cut with my utility knife, just like that. And then this 1-inch chisel, that knife cut is deep enough where I can put this blade right in there and chisel that out. So I can feel that the chisel is in the slot I made with the knife. Give a light tap. Then I can come up from underneath, remove that little section, and keep going deeper and deeper, just like you're cutting a tree with an axe until I remove that. Kind of seems like a lot of work, but it goes pretty quick with a sharp chisel. That looks so much better, gang. Now that took me about a couple of minutes, but I'm way out of practice on this with my chisels. I think after I do a couple of these, I can probably knock one of these out in 1 minute. It won't take long at all. And to me, that's the only way to do that to make it look perfect. So let's do the top one for the crown, measure it, go out to the saw, and start cutting some crown. All right, the chisel's kind of sketching me out up here, gang. I can't get an angle on it to chisel away at it. So I went out to the truck and I grabbed my pole saw and try to make that cut right there, and I can knock off that little piece that's in my way. Much easier. All right, we'll do a combination of the chisel and the pole saw. I'm gonna clean that up a little bit, and then we can measure for this piece of crown. Now that we have this notched, we can measure it. This one is 12 1/8. So I got my board right here. I'm gonna write 12 1/8. The left hand end of the piece is a straight cut, and the right hand end of the piece is the left side of an outside corner. So I'm gonna put outside left. And we're gonna show you why this is important out at our saw. So let's head out there and start cutting this crown. So let me show you the saw setup. I've got these temporary wings I made years ago, and they've become kind of permanent, but I'm going to change them one day. We put a crown stop on here. Remember, a crown is always cut upside down on a miter saw. That's how we do it. And the crown stop registers that crown. So all your miters are gonna be perfect and it's gonna sit flat against the cabinets on this edge right here. So I made a cut in the crown stop at 45 degrees to the left, perpendicular, and 45 degrees to the right. And then I wrote on this blue tape what each of those means. If I need an inside right corner, my blade's gonna be right here at IR, inside right. If I need an outside left corner, my blade's gonna be right here, outside left. I've got the same thing over here. On the right detent, outside right corner, and inside left. So we go back to our cut list. I need an outside right here. I'm gonna swing the blade over there, and I'm gonna measure 29 3/16 for my first piece. Ready, bud?
Let's do it.
Let's cut it. So on this first piece I cut, I already had a flat edge where I could hook my tape measure, but now I don't have that anymore. So I'm trying to maximize my yield, so I cut this angle first, and I can't hook my tape measure on this inside corner right here.
You could.
I could.
It would just be inaccurate, maybe.
I think I've seen a little jig for that actually. What I'm gonna do instead, I'm gonna line that corner up to the end of my fence right there, and now I can hook the tape on the end of my fence. Put on that side of the line, ready to go. Let's see how we did. Woo! That's what we want.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
All right, check that out, gang.
That's what we want.
That's a pretty good miter. Now the paint is chipping a little bit. I don't know what to do about that. I got a brand new blade, well, a new sharpened blade on there, but I can touch that up. But I'll deal with that later. Why don't we crack open that 2P10 and try it out.
All right, years of using maybe an inferior method.
Yep.
Comes to an end right now.
Right now, game changer. Here
We're
we
just
go.
gonna send it, huh?
Yeah, I am. Tired of waiting around, buddy. We got to do it. We'll activate it on there. All right, here we go. 10 seconds, right? I'm there. I'm where I want to be. Ooh, that looks nice. Man, that looks fantastic.
Yup.
If I don't have to put any nails in that, that'd be great. That always messes me up because
Yeah.
the nail blows out the side, ruins your trim.
We've dealt with that.
Yep.
And now we don't have to come back and fill the holes,
Right.
touch them up. Well, we're gonna have to touch up the corners, but
And the beauty of that little ledge we cut, this is going to sit on there, and just a couple of little 23 gauge pen nails are going to hold this in place.
well, what are you doing, man? This is 2P10. Let go of the thing. Ooh, now pick it up.
Should I bang it on the ground like they do? That's pretty crazy. That's a strange feeling, I got to tell you, just to pick that up, and it's not going to go anywhere.
How does it feel?
It feels fine.
Feels pretty strong?
Yep. If we have some crown left over, maybe we'll do a breakage test.
Okay.
I mean, it's not moving. It's there. Let's go put it in. All right, let's see how she fits. See how it's gonna sit on that little ledge right there? It's caught on the back. There we go. Man, look at that.
Wow.
Sweet. No more nails right here. I can't believe it. So now that it's up there, we got a little bit of a challenge now. Where does it go? See on that right hand end? Where does it go right here? And in the back, where does it go? I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do. Now, I don't wanna make a bunch of pencil marks on our cabinets. So I'm gonna use a piece of blue tape and put it right there. I'm gonna use the same piece of light rail that I'm using as a gauge block, hook it on the top, take my knife and cut through the tape. Nice and gentle. And then remove that top piece of tape. And that's my line for the top of the crown.
Pretty slick.
Yep, and no pencil marks. All right, let's put that up there and nail it off.
Perfect. That was like the fastest trim we've ever done, man.
Nice job. Remove our blue tape. Woo! You wanna tackle this one?
I'm so ready. I'm like motivated. I'm like,
Yeah, it's like,
this is like exciting.
it is. I don't know what took me so long, but,
I've been telling you.
and everybody else in the comments were, and you guys are right. So,
It's faster, less stressful,
stronger.
stronger, no nail holes, no filling, no touch-ups. Awesome.
Let's do some more.
Let's do it. One more? Yep. Good.
Outside left. Building eight. So, and check this out. This is a good way to prove to yourself you've done your measurements right, and more importantly, your angles right. This OL and this OR, they go together in that outside miter. And then so do these two. So if I had OL, I know something would be wrong. But
then you'd be looking at your trim like, oh,
what did I do? Looks like we're going to the store.
Oh well.
Oh well, OL, LOL, SOL. All right, let's keep cutting, dude. All right, my new favorite part right here, putting on the CA glue. So I gotta tell you, my nerves have calmed down a little bit. But for you trim guys out there, let me know. Does the excitement about using this stuff ever lessen? I don't know.
This is really exciting stuff.
Yeah. No test fit, we're just going for it, right?
What do we call that?
Faith. I'm trying to move it. So much for 10 seconds.
I think it's 10 seconds from when you squeeze it on. So you actually had like 2 seconds.
Should be called 2P2.
Wow. You know when it's easy for me, it's easy.
All those times we struggle with that, and look how easy that is.
How easy. Now I'm frustrated.
Yeah.
It was that easy the whole time?
All right, guys, on that wall over there, we purposely extended that wall during the framing stages to account for the crown. Now right here, back in 1981 or so when this house was built, the framers weren't accounting for crown.
Come on, guys.
So what we're gonna do right here, we got a little issue. So you can see what happens with this piece of crown. Part of it is against the wall, and a part of it is not. We could leave it like that and put a block back here so you can't see this void. But look, this is stud pack, right? So we're gonna do a partial mitered return. So part of the crown is gonna hit the wall, and this part is gonna wrap around to the wall. I already have all the cuts laid out on the actual piece of crown that's gonna fit right here. So let's head out to the saw and knock it out. So here's the plan, gang. This is the straight cut that goes against the wall. Now I need a mitered cut right here. But if I come to our saw, I was gonna bevel it to the right and make that cut. But guess what? This saw only goes to the left.
They call that a single bevel, I believe?
Yeah.
We need a dual bevel.
We do. So maybe it's time to upgrade to a new saw just for this one cut.
Yeah, well, we're going to be definitely doing more cuts like this in the future. We've needed a new saw for a while, so if y'all have any recommendations, drop them in the comments.
All right.
We got to figure out how to solve this for now, though.
We do. We'll figure it out. All right, gang. We found a solution on the saw stop. I set up a temporary fence, screwed it to my sliding table at 45 degrees, and we're running it through that way. You can kind of see the idea. Here's the 90-degree cut we made at the miter saw, and I'm sneaking up on my final 45-degree cut right here.
Hey, that's pretty nice, actually.
Not too shabby for not having the right tool, huh?
Nope.
Let me file that little corner right there and go test fit it. All right, guys, here's our piece of crown for the end of this cabinet with our partial mitered return. That's what we're calling it. And with a little fine tuning on that saw stop and in combination with our miter saw, I'm really liking that. So I say we go glue this to these other two pieces of crown, put it up, and fit this small one on the end. Okay, guys, let's see how we did. Oh, wow. Look at that. Like it grew there on the first try.
No, that was the first try, actually.
Yeah, Friday afternoon, things usually don't go like that.
That's true.
Let's glue it on. Man, that stuff grabs fast. I can feel it. You get to a certain point, that's it.
Huh. That's awesome.
That's the right way to do that, huh?
That's the play.
Yep.
Cool.
Nice
Good
job.
job. Right on.
All right, guys, we got 3 cabinets done late this afternoon. We did get kind of a late start today. A lot of you have been making comments about this injury on my hand. I finally went to the doctor this morning. He took care of it, did an awesome job. It's going to heal just fine. He asked me what I was putting on it. I said Neosporin. He said, that's not our favorite. I said, why? He said, it has 3 ingredients in it. A lot of people are allergic to one of them, change to polysporin, so that's what I'm gonna do. And stay tuned, gang, because over here at this glass door cabinet, we have custom LED lighting we're gonna put inside. And we haven't even talked about the under cabinet lighting we're gonna put in. And once all that lighting's in with our crown and our light rail, it's gonna look fantastic. So we'll see you tomorrow. All right, guys, it's the next day. We're gonna show you in this video how we put in this awesome under cabinet lighting. But before we do all that, we gotta finish the crown. We've got a couple pieces here and the piece over
The fridge?
yeah. So once we're done with the crown, we're gonna do the light rail, which is the same process as the crown. And it's gonna go very fast. So let's head outside, get the saw set up, and start running some crown. CA glue, W. Oh yeah, nice.
There you go, huh?
Yep. Here.
Little.
All right, guys, all the crown is up, and this is all I had left out of 32 feet, about 2 feet left over. And it eats up a lot because these corners add about 3 or 4 inches to every cut. So it adds up, but it's all done. It looks fantastic. And then you saw us break out the clamps up here. I did that for 2 reasons. One reason is we wanted to pull this in tight. That 23 gauge pin nailer doesn't have a lot of clamping action, so we wanted to clamp it with the clamp and then put a nail in it. And I also wanted to see how strong these were. And they held up. I mean, that 2P10 stuff is awesome. We finished all the crown, and so what's next is the light rail. This is the profile. Goes right on the bottom of the cabinets. We were in such a groove last night, loving to use that 2P10, that we actually did these 2 on this side already. And light rail is like half the work of crown. It's very small. We can fasten it from the bottom, and it's just really easy to put up. We did these 2. I think the neighbors were watching us, and they were like, man, these guys are flying. That 2P10 makes it so fast. And we're gonna show you right now how we put up the light rail. We have 1, 2, 3 more to do. On this upper cabinet, we're gonna install it up here so it blends in with everything else, even though there's no light in there, obviously. But we do have an issue here with clearance on the door, so make sure you stay tuned. We're gonna show you how we handle that. What do you say we head outside, fire up the saws and that 2P10 adhesive and start finishing this light rail, bud?
Yeah, it'll take like 5 minutes.
That's right, let's do it. There are nails in here. I guess they nailed this piece to that piece.
Right.
And that's the second one I've hit. Alrighty guys, all the light rail is up. It came out fantastic. And like we talked about right here, we did put light rail above the fridge, and we had some interference here between the light rail and the door when it was in the open position. So we just did a mitered return right here. We think it looks great, better than just cutting that off square. So this is what a mitered return looks like. We made one up for you. And then just imagine this is the side of the cabinet. When we put it up there, we realized the side of the cabinet was hitting our mitered return right there. So we went outside, made a cut with our pull saw right there, and removed this waste and slid right on. And you can see the final result. And when you're walking over here and you're seeing this gap here and kind of this gap right here where the glass tile is, it all blends together and looks fantastic. So we made this little mock-up of a mitered return for you just to show you. And when we glued this up, it was my last one on that 2P10 glue for this project. And I gotta tell you, I was a little disappointed because that stuff is fun to use, especially when you've tried to put these together before with a nail here and it blows out right there and ruins all your trim. And we didn't have enough anyway. The only anxiety on the whole project, really, putting this light rail up, was attaching it to the bottom of the cabinets. And kind of the same thing we were worried about, the nail blowing out the side of the cabinets here, but that didn't happen one time. And it looks great. All the light rails are up. It took me a while to get on the 2P10 train. If you're not on board yet, find yourself some online or at your local distributor, play around with it in your garage, use it on your next project, and you won't regret it. And since all our light rails are up, what good are light rails without lights? That's like having that car cover in your garage, but no American-made F-150 to park under it. So we got our lights right here. Let's show you what we got. Here's our lights. They're made by Global Lux. They are LED, of course, 120 volts, not low voltage. So during rough electric, we ran the wire for that. They are adjustable CCT LED technology. What is CCT? Correlated color temperature. That's your Kelvin rating. These are either selectable from 3000 to 4000 with this switch. Since all the other lighting in here is 3000, that works perfect for us. We'll just use that setting. These lights come in a 9-inch length, 24, 32, and the 42 we got right here for this big cabinet. Now, we've done a lot of under cabinet lighting on this channel. Every time we do it, it seems like it's a different light. The one I fell in love with was kind of a bar LED light. They don't even make it anymore. It's so frustrating when you find a product that you like and you go back to the store or online and they discontinued it. So like I said, on this job, we ran 14-2 cable to all of our cabinets in the kitchen. They all go up in the attic to a single junction box with a switch leg way over here. We can turn on that one switch, boom, all the under cabinet lights will come on. It's gonna be fantastic.
We're gonna show them.
Yep, we're gonna show you. And then on other projects, I've run low voltage wire. And then what always seems to happen to me, when I run low voltage wire, turns out we pick a 120 volt light and I gotta figure that out. Or we run line voltage like this and we want low voltage lighting. So I'm still looking for the perfect under cabinet LED light. If you guys have found one, let us know in the comments. What I mean by perfect, well, easy to install, dimmable, change the color, easy to change the length. We were kind of limited on the lengths right here. In fact, on this cabinet right here, this cabinet's 9 inches wide. A 9-inch light is all they make. It won't fit this way because of the box. So we're actually thinking about turning it this way. I think that might work pretty cool.
Yeah.
And shine the light this way over this coffee bar.
It might work better even.
But I'm tired of talking. What do you say we put up some lights, bud?
Let's do it.
All right. We've got everything we need right here on this cardboard that's protecting our countertop. The light comes with a connector, so the cable can go into the back of the fixture. It comes with 2 mounting screws. There's one of them. This is to mount the fixture to the bottom of the cabinet. That is actually too long for this plywood bottom. It'll poke through. So we had a box full of the screws left over from our cabinet build, so we're going to use those. It's going to work just fine. Comes with 3 wire nuts. I always think these are too small. So what do you say, bud? You want to use some Wagos on this job? I have these in the truck. Wago 222s. Nah.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm talking about. Let's show you how this works. So this light fixture, you can bring your power in here, in the middle, or here. We're roughed in over here on the right. So we're going to take this knockout out. So let's take the diffuser off first, get it out of our way so we don't damage it. Now we have to take this cover off. It's just held in place by some little tabs. There's 1, 2, 3. That comes out of the way. And there's our driver for our LED. This one we want to take off. Here's the knockout we're going to use. So let's punch it out. Now we're ready for our connector. You must use these. It protects the cable from the sharp edge of this metal right here.
The worst shock you ever got was because someone didn't do that, right?
That's correct. And then we realized if we put that connector like this and we tighten these screws, they're actually going to hit the bottom of the cabinet, which is right there. So we're going to turn it 90 degrees and we'll be fine. Either way, that way or that way. So this is finger tight. And I want to go another 1/4 turn. I'm going to put my crescent wrench on that nut. Grab my Lyman's and give it that final 1/4 turn and I'm there. Now it's tight. Now we're ready to cut our wire and feed it through that fixture. Just like that, we've got some sheathing coming through the connector. So So now I can tighten these 2 screws. Now that our connector's made up and it's tight against the sheathing, let's strip these wires a little bit. Remember, it's number 14. There's the neutral, there's the hot. And then typically from the factory, they don't strip these enough for me, so I'm going to strip those back a little bit more. All right, that's done. Let's wire it up. Remember, always grounds first. It's just a good habit to have. All right, now let's take this enclosure right here and put it back in the fixture. Got to get all our wires tucked in behind there. All right, I think I'm in, bud, huh? 1, 2, 3. All right, we're all wired up. Now we're ready to mount this to the bottom of the cabinet. We got these little plywood blocks we had from something else. They act as a good spacer. We put it here, put the light against the spacer, use a pencil to mark for our keyhole slot, take the light down, put in those 2 screws, hang it up. Don't go in the large part of the keyhole, go in the narrow spot, right there.
Yep.
All right, now watch how easy this is. Lined up on that one, lined up on that one, slide to the left, and we're home. Now we just have to tighten them. There's 1, 2. Here's the diffuser. So that little U-shaped part slides over the back, and then you snap this leg into the top here. All right, so that back U-shaped part is all engaged in the back. I'm gonna start on the left. I'm in. Put my hand to the right. Boom. All done. Now we'll set our switch to, what is it? CW or WW?
Well, CW I think stands for cool white, and WW stands for Walter White.
Walter White?
Warm white. But on the other one, it's reversed. The cool white is the warmer temperature, and the WW is the cooler temperature, so.
Well, let's turn them on and see what we got. So we powered these up, and Jordan is absolutely correct. This one's on WW, this one's on the CW setting, but the light is the same. If you change one, the light is different. So just a screw up at the factory, I guess.
I guess.
So let's put up these other 2 lights and see if that was a one-off.
Let's do it, man.
Get it to all of them. You want to do this little one first?
I think we should do the big one.
All right, let's do it. All right, gang, under cabinet lighting done. Check that off in the box. These Globalux fixtures went in without a hitch. You saw how easy it was. 2 screws in each one, 3 wire nuts or 3 Wagos. The only hitch we had was on this long one. We had 2 cabinets joined together, so we had to cut away the cabinet boxes right here. So we were nice and tight here, so that light is tucked up and hidden. Over here on this one, remember we had a 9-inch long light. Wouldn't quite fit in that direction, so we simply turned it 90 degrees. You can check that out.
Pretty slick.
Yep, and so it actually is kind of shining this way and highlighting this whole area where it looks like they're gonna be making coffee. So that's gonna be great. So now that they're all in, what do you say we turn them on?
Let's do it.
All right.
It is daytime. It's like the brightest time of day.
Whenever we're doing this kind of stuff, the sun's
Check out
pouring
the
through
lights.
those windows.
Full reveal. We can't even see them.
And there we go.
Hey.
You want to turn off the overheads?
Yeah.
Just to get the full effect. Now they are wired in to these all in one switch, but we're going to put 2 dimmers over there. So we'll have dimming control on the under cabinet, dimming control here.
So these lights that we just installed actually have 2 color settings. We were talking about that earlier. So why don't we swap them over to the warm setting and see how that looks?
All right, so this is cool white. You want to do all 4 to warm?
Yeah, ready?
It's funny, that one's backwards, huh?
Yeah. So that's warm.
Yeah.
I don't mind it actually. Normally I'm fully against warm lights, but that's actually pretty nice. 3000's right in the middle.
So let us know what team you're on, gang. Are you cool white or warm white? And you may be wondering, hey, Stud Pack, what about this display cabinet y'all put over here with the glass doors? What are you gonna do over here? Well, we think this is gonna be a whole separate video because we wanna put lighting inside here. She's already got a bowl in there, but you could have trophies, you could have Stud Pack merch, whatever you want. So we wanna light that up from the top all the way to the bottom, and we're also gonna have under cabinet lighting. So what we're thinking is 1 LED strip inside at an angle on a chamfer strip, wrap it underneath and up the side with 1 driver for the whole cabinet on top. So that's going to be a whole video.
It's gonna be awesome.
Yep, check it out. Make sure you stay tuned for that. So you know what to do, gang. Glove up, put some 2P10 adhesive on your finger, spray some activator on that like button, smash it for us. Now you're gonna have a glove stuck to your like button, but that's gonna remind you to smash it every time you watch a stud pack video. Any questions or comments, drop them down below. Subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you on the next one.